Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Grandmaster Gemini. I'm here to start on a spiritual birth control series that I am working on. Also, it's going to be coming with a book soon, so please stay in tune for that. This is part one, and I'm going to be getting into fertility's birth control. So we're going to start off at the beginning. In the beginning of time, there was always individuals. It was always individuals who was in your tribe, in your field, in your city, in your area. In the beginning of time, that was always specializing and being able to be the one to bring out a person's fertility and reproductive energy so that they can come to term, whether that be a male or whether that be a female. So this has always been a thing. You don't see it a lot in a lot of work, and if you do, it's usually more tethered towards women's spirituality. But we've come to a different time. It's 2020 now. You feel me? Coming to a time where man-made birth control is kind of hurtful to the ladies, can be hurtful to our society. And so people haven't really come up with ways to try to counteract that on the better, how to control their fertility. We all know that medical bills are hella high when it comes down to trying to even test to see if you're fertile enough. And so this is especially for a lot of my spiritualists and my witch friends out here that are really out here and don't know what to do with their fertility. We got people out here that are too fertile and wanted to stop. We got people out here that's not fertile at all, and they would like a chance to get their lessons through parenthood. And so through that, I feel like I should be the one to try to teach folks on how to, have that choice. So in the beginning, there we go. In the beginning, we always had the moon. The moon was the first spiritual, like, archetype for fertility. First one. First planet, first thing you could see when it comes down to fertility. So this first video is going to be mainly about just, quick informant. The second video is going to be about blessings and healings. That's going to be about a little bit more in depth on techniques and tips to induce and to provide fertility energy, which is going to be really easy to a lot of people who are already good at it. I don't know, it's going to be really easy to people who are just natural magics, but if not, you'll take a couple times, but you got this. So anyway, beginning of time, a woman or a man can come up to the moon and say, hey, I wish to have children. I need to bear children. Grant me this. I'm not saying it's always going to be in a prayer form, but it could have been. Or it could be ritualistic based. I'm a cosmic worker, so I know there are plenty of people who specializes with planetary control, planetary intelligence control. But the Egyptians had baths. The angels had Archangel Gabriel. There's always been a method. There's always been fertility specialists out there. The Vudans, everybody, every single type of magic system, there's always been a fertility guide. Always. But we're going to talk about fertility control, as in individuals who also maybe don't want children or maybe don't want to get pregnant. While there seems to be a controversy on the political thing, I'm a free choice kind of individual. So I've always felt like people should have the ability to choice. I feel like the same person that should walk up to the same woman that should walk up to the moon when it's quiet at night and want to cry out to the moon for a child should be the same person that should be able to come to the moon and say, hey, I was raped, or hey, I got pregnant abruptly, and I don't want to have children. That should be a choice, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people could be wrong for that. That's okay. But I want to give people the right to choose and let them know that they can do this. This is possible. But back in the days, also, when it comes down to infertility, it was also used as a curse or a hex or a form of negative energy or negative vibes. But just because a person can't doesn't want children or is hit with spells that makes them infertile doesn't mean it can't get cut back on. I feel like you should think of it like a light switch. Yeah, you can either induce your fertility or you can decline it. So I feel like there should be people out there that are too fertile. Maybe there's men, maybe there are women out there that they're popping babies and they're like, I need this to stop now. Or maybe they just choose that they don't want to have children now. But the point is, people should have the right to choose. And I feel like a lot of people in the beginning of time in my past life experience and regressions were not really that focused on fertilities. It was either, hey, somebody wanted a child, or hey, somebody wanted to heck someone else. So, invertedly, um, sorry, I had to catch my thoughts. So, invertedly, not having children was looked at as upon either, being cursed, being sinned, um, something's wrong with them, when in reality it could be a spiritual problem. There's a lot of people that I know and I've met that have a divine body. There's nothing wrong with them. They're completely healthy, and yet they've been getting it on like Donkey Kong and no children, like none. And that's becoming a problem. And we all know that in the U.S., or at least where I stay, health insurance ain't cheap. Um, And a lot of doctors will give you the runaround anyway, and they still won't know what's wrong with you. So fertility work has to be starting to be a thing. I'm big on it. No, I don't have any children, but I'm big on it. There should be people out there, whether you're single, you should be able to control your fertility so that you don't have children with people you don't want to. Or whether you're taken or whatever, you want children, you should be able to open up that power and open in your fertility energy for healthy pregnancies, for healthy conceptions, for healthy ovulations, for healthy whatever. But you should be able to choose between not having children and having children. It's your body, but it's also your magic. So that's the beginning of time. Beginning of time, there's always those people. And as time went on, of course, magic had to be fought, killed, all that. But now we're here. We're in 2020. We're in 2020, and there are still individuals who are not controlling their fertility correctly. There's still individuals who are just telling themselves they're so spiritual, they're so fertile that that's just it. And they're just giving up on it. They're just, oh, if I have another baby, I have another baby. If I don't have another baby, I don't have another baby. Or, this shit can really make people depressed. It can give them mental illness. Damn, why can't I have a child? Damn, why am I having too many? Damn, why am I always pregnant? These are very, 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 very serious things. And yet we are... a lot of witches want to learn different things. A lot of spiritualists want to learn different things. A lot of healers want to learn different things. When it comes down to fertility, they're like, And most of us don't even like using condoms. I mean, that's not a bad thing, of course. Most of us don't like using condoms. We don't like using birth control. It wasn't invented until, like, recently. It was not invented. So, what was we doing? We we was trying to control our fertility for the ones who was interested in it, and usually that is very much going towards women's spiritual studies. That is what it was mostly going towards. The people who are studying spiritual fertility usually only wanted it for one thing: to have a child. If anybody wanted to not have children, people will look at them like they funny. Children's is a gift. Parentinghood is a gift. It's a blessing, and it is, but it's also your choice. It's also your choice, divine choice. I believe in it, but I wanted to give the backstory on that, but the flexibilities of fertility control is really endless. There's a lot of single people out there that can benefit from doing a little bit of fertility control on themselves and then go out there and have them a nice, happy sex life without them having to worry so hard about fertility. Spiritual blocks, spiritual protection on fertility, on on having children. And on top of that, we also have fertility blessings. So even when the conception is beginning, or the ovulation, or the first beginning of pregnancy, then we're continuing to bless the pregnancy for the 9 months so that this baby can come out spiritually healthy and aligned. You know what I mean? That's important too. Doing magic on a person that's already pregnant, because you want this baby to come out with some of the best DNA and the best spiritual attributes. So healing that baby while it's in the womb, while it's forming, is a very productive thing to do. Um, so this is just the intro. I wanted to give a quick understanding on what this is and what it is that I'm gonna be talking about. The next two videos are gonna be more in depth about those particular subjects, but I wanted to get down on just what it is that I'm doing here, what it is that is my purpose for Gemini investigations, because fertility is a very big thing, and a lot of people can benefit from it. Whether you learn how to control it, conceal it, or whether you need it to be induced, whether you need to conceive like now. Either way it goes, this type of metaphysics is one of the only type of metaphysics that's hard to deny. You can't deny that if a chick was, or a person couldn't have children for 3-4 years and they was busting it wide open and et cetera, and then all of a sudden they come across a fertility worker and bam, parenthood has begun. It's one of the only type of metaphysics that's so serious, and it's a profound thing to work on. Which also can include, abortions and canceling pregnancies out when maybe you didn't want them or maybe you didn't know you had them, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't matter. Fertility control also specializes in, abortions and, miscarriages, healthy, spiritual miscarriages. So this is definitely a subject that we're going to talk about a lot. My name is Grandmaster Gemini, if you didn't know, of course. I specialize in cosmic working, angelic work, Egyptian spiritual work, and more. I'd hate to say I don't. And fertility specialist is something that I am very, very harshly on. Thank you for very much watching my video. I thought this was going to take longer, and I can't wait to see you next episode. Nice talking to you.